Now question number 15. Two planes A and B are moving by making an angle of 30 degrees and 60 degrees with horizontal. In the A plane, one observer is observing B plane and the velocity of the A plane is 100 root 3 meter per second at time t equals to 0. After t equal to t naught time, these two are just colliding and escaping, trying to collide and just escape. So what is the time t naught value he is asking, and the distance between these two planes he had given as 500 meters. That is the question. Now this is A plane, this is one A plane, and this is B plane. This is B plane. This is B plane. So here these two planes are making an angle of 30 degrees and 60 degrees. So first one making 30 degrees and second one making 60 degrees with horizontal. The distance between these two is 500 meters. In between these two, what is the distance? 500 meters. At time t equals to 0. After time t equals to t naught, these two are colliding and escaping. So the colliding time is asking. He is asking this thing. Similarly, velocity of the A plane he had given, that is 100 root 3 meter per second. This information we know. So from this information we are finding colliding time. So that is our question. So in this question what happening? We are applying relative concept. In this question we are applying relative concept. So here what happening? A plane moving. In the A plane one observer is observing B plane. So this concept I am writing as. So before going to this, first you take the what is the relative concept. For example, this is one A man and this is one B man. These two are moving with VA velocity and VB velocity. This distance I am taking D. After which time these two are meeting, that is called relative concept. So what is the formula for time? Distance by speed. Distance by speed. What is the speed? Relative velocity. What is the relative velocity here? VA plus VB taking. So that only we are writing as VAB or VBA. VAB means velocity of the A with respect to B. VBA means velocity of the B with respect to A. Both are same only in this case. So for example, VAB, our writing VAB means? VAB means you write VA minus VB. So VA minus VB, VA moving along I direction, X direction. This is X dash direction, so minus I. So here what I am writing? Minus VB. So totally what happens? VA plus VB. So that is the concept. So this concept we are applying. This is belongs to straight line, but this belongs to inclined. That's all. But concept is same one. So for this purpose, now I am going to this applying this concept. So here, first one making 30 degrees. This is making 30 degrees and moving like this. This is A plane. Velocity of the A plane also he had given. That is 100 root 3 meter per second. Similarly, this is making 60 degrees. This is 30 means just like this you take. This is 90 only. This is not like that. Just so this I am taking 60 degrees. This I am taking 60 degrees. This is B plane. So first what I am taking parallel to this you create one line. This is parallel to this. So what happens here? So first I am taking parallel line. Parallel to that line taking again 60 degree extension doing, then only clearly understand. First what I am taking? Parallel to this line I am taking. This line how much angle? 30 degrees. Here plane is moving. How moving here? By making 60 degrees. How much? 60 degrees. So how much is this? This is 60 degrees. This is B plane. This is velocity of the B plane. Now this is parallel to 30. This plane is making 60 degrees. With this line how much making? 30, because already this line is 30. With this 30 means 30 plus 30 60 happens. So this is making 30 degrees with 30 degrees horizontal line. So now I am taking resolution of vectors. What happens here? Velocity v is here. What is this? Horizontal component, and this is what? Vertical component. Two components I am taking. Where it is making theta, that is called cos theta component. Remaining what? Sin theta component. So what about this? VB cos 30. And what about this? VB sin 30. Okay. Now here what happened? VA equal to VB cos 30. One equation. Because these two are parallel components. VA equals to VB cos 30. I am taking. This is my first equation. In the A plane, one observer is observing. B plane. Which plane moving? B plane moving. Who is observing? A plane observer moving. So velocity of the B with respect to A. Velocity of the B means what? B plane moving. With respect to means observing from A plane. So we want to find the VBA. So what is the meaning of VBA? VB minus VA. Observer in the A. B is moving and coming like this and colliding after T naught time. That T naught time only we are finding. So for this purpose what I am taking here? I am creating one coordinate system. Here I am creating one coordinate system. How? Parallel to this. This I am taking x axis. Now this I am taking as y axis. This I am taking x axis and this I am taking y axis. So here what happens? I am taking VA. What is the VA value? 100 root 3. How it is? Along x axis. So directly you write VA. What is the VA? VA equals to 100 root 3 into I. VA value came. Otherwise you write VA like that only. Later in the final I just writing. VA means VA only write. VA how coming? It is along x axis. So what I am writing? VA into I writing. This you take second equation and this you take third equation. Now I am writing VB. VB how? This is parallel to this and this is perpendicular to this. So what happens? Resolution of vectors. V equal to Vxi plus Vyj like that. So I am writing VB. So VB equals to VB cos 30 along x axis. So VB cos 30 into I, x component Vxi plus Vyj. What is the Vy? VB sin 30 into J. That is VB. Here VB cos 30, you write this as VA. So I am writing this as VA. So VB equals to VA into I plus VB sin 30 into J. Now you take the second equation. What is the second equation? That is VBA, that equals to VB minus VA. What is the VB value? This is the VB value. You take, this is my equation number 4. VB value this and VA value VA into I. Now substitute these two values. Now, what is the VB value? This implies VBA equals to, what is the VB? VA into I plus VB into sin 30J minus VA means VA only, that is along x-axis. So, minus VA into I. VA I cancel. Now, what we had got? VBA. VBA equals to VB into sin 30J. This is my equation number 5. But actually here what came? VA equal to VB cos 30 came. I already wrote that initially only, again I am writing. VA equals to VB cos 30. So what about VB? VA by cos 30. You write this as this implies VB equals to VA by cos 30. So this value substitute in the fifth equation. What is the fifth equation? VBA, that equals to VB sin 30 into J. So VBA equals to VB, what I am writing? VA by cos 30 into sin 30 into J. Sin 30 by cos 30, tan 30. So VBA, that equals to VA into tan 30 into J. But what is the VA value? 100 root 3. Substitute. Now VBA this implies VBA. What about VBA? VA into tan 30. What is the VA value? 100 root 3. Right? 100 root 3. 100 root 3. VA value 100 root 3. Into tan 30, 1 by root 3. Into 1 by root 3. Into J. Root 3 cancel. So what is the relative velocity vector? That equals to 100J. I want magnitude. You take mod. Then what happens? Mod J equals to 1. J is the unit vector. So this implies mod VBA, that equals to 100 meter per second. So that is the relative velocity. I had already initially explained what is the concept for the meeting time. Time equals to distance by relative velocity. In between these two, what is the distance? 500 meters. Already I had given information. So now the time equals to T naught. So meeting time, colliding time, that equals to T naught he had given. That is distance by relative velocity. So what is the distance? 500 meters. What is the relative velocity? 100 meter per second. Finally what I am getting? 5 seconds. So after 5 seconds, these two planes are colliding. So that is the concept.